Hi Crafty friend, it's me, Justine Dvorak. Today on this video, we are going to make 2 cards and show you 3. So I'm going to start off with the first card, which is an A6, I think. It's a 5x7 card. I can't remember the size number, but I'm pretty sure it's an A6. Anyway, it is so cute. It's going to look a lot like the example that Spellbinders has put up right there, but I kind of put my own little flair on it. So I'm going to start with building the little birdhouse for this one. It's called Snowcapped Holidays because the birdhouse has this really fun puffy snow lid to it, or top. And there's these little pieces, so I just figured I would talk about how I assemble them. So I'm going to add this one that I like to call the pointy foot. So to me it looks like a foot that's pointing their toes with a leg. I don't know, does anyone else see that? It looks like a leg to me. And then this one, which is called, in my brain, the arrow, that goes on top of the pointy leg. And then that lines up with the piece on the house that is kind of etched into the brown. So you're going to see a little bit of white left there, and that's fine because I'm going to add some little puffy snowy stuff on top so you won't even see it. But I'm going to add some glue right to the house so the roof will attach like so. Ooh, that is cute. This would be such a cute ornament to do for a paper crafting ornament. You could add some little string to it, punch a hole in the top, and you would have a beautiful ornament for a Christmas decoration. But what I'm making right now, I know I said it was a 5x7 card, but I think that this will end up being a card decoration. So as I put the snow on here, I'm just going to talk about cards that aren't always cards. They're going to double as decorations. Now, I kind of started doing this before we started doing our house renovations oh man, that was like 2 years ago now. I decorated in our living room for fall or autumn with cards, and I had cards on these floating shelves. It was super cute. But then our construction project started, so I kind of stopped doing it. But with Christmas cards, if you don't put a sentiment on the outside and just have it be like a Christmas scene like I'm building here, you can really make some fun Christmas decorations with some of these paper crafting items. So I would just encourage you to try that out if you haven't yet, or just set your cards around your house and decorate for holidays that way. Now I'm going to build these 2 adorable cardinals with some little scraps that I have die cut out. I've been using my Scout die cutting machine like crazy. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I've had it for a while now, and it's become one of my go-to tools, if you will, in my craft room. Plus it fits on my desk really well. So I'm just putting some white paper behind the eye area of the cardinals, and then I will build up both cardinals on camera here. So it's they kind of make it easy to build the cardinals because all of the dies are kind of etched. So you saw I tried putting the wrong face on the wrong bird, and then I noticed the area where it was die cut is a little bit different. So I grabbed the other face, and that fits perfectly on that one. Oh, he's so cute. I wonder if you could change the colors and make different birds. To me, excuse me, I think you could perhaps change the colors and make like a blue jay or an oriole. Tell me if you kind of see that. Or you maybe could just make a little bird and not add the cap part of the cardinal, and you could make different birds. I love birds. I think they're super cool, and I think that Spellbinders is still in their bird era. And now, hear me out. There was the flamingos from the Weekender, the flamingos for the large die, the toucans, the parrots, the seagulls. Now we're at cardinals, and I'm loving it. There's probably going to be penguins at some point. I don't know. I don't have any penguins right now in my craft room that are coming up, but I would not be surprised if there was penguins too, because like I said, Spellbinders is in their bird era and I'm here for it. I almost forgot this little bird's beak, but not to worry, there it is. Look how playful they are. I love the one where it's spreading its wings. It just looks like it's like, hello friend. And I thought that that is just so cute. And this one that sits on the, I don't even know, the post that comes out of the house, to me just looks so content and just cozy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I love it. So I just measured with my eyeball the placement of the little stick, and I'll put this bird on top of the house. I thought about doing another bird because to me 2 birds looked a little off because I like odd numbers, especially with projects like this, but you know, 2 was fine because I added red with these little berry sprigs and it worked. So I'm going to fast forward this part quite a bit. I am floral arranging, and anytime I do that, I really do like to take my time and just fuss around with the florals like crazy. So this is 3.5 times the speed. So it's just, yeah, it takes me a while, which is okay because it's kind of the fun and relaxing part about die cutting and arranging things, especially with florals. I love arranging florals this way, and I'm going to show you a little trick with this in just a second. I'm going to do it on my next card too, but I found that it really helps with kind of keeping things moving in my craft room. So here is the trick. Are you ready for it? I'm going to grab my reverse tweezers in just a second here, and I am going to pinch it all and use tape. Yes, I said tape. To me, this is so much easier than removing the birdhouse on this project, if you will, and then gluing down everything and hoping that everything fits behind the house, because I can just slide it under like that, flip, give it a little tape, and the tape will be hidden anyway from the birdhouse, so it's not even a big deal. Just like that. Now that side needs a little tape too, because I added that acorn on, and there I have it. It is all set, a little bundle. So I'll do that for all 4 sides, so they're all taped up. Now I just have to add glue on the back, and that is in place. I have a 3D embossed folder on the background. I used the pine cones and berries, so it is a little bumpy. So I was a little heavy-handed with my liquid glue for these embellishments, but it all dries and it's all good to go. Again, this is sped up just a little, so don't think I'm like crazy fast hands here. And I just wanted to double check the placement of this one. I don't want the tape to show, so that looks kind of good to me. A little tape ends up showing, but I grab my tweezers and just kind of move it around. So don't be afraid to use tape. And ever since I got that tape dispenser that you can see there for my best ever craft tape, I've been using it like crazy. It's a little humid right now, so you'll see it kind of curl back up in the video, but it works very well. Now to glue down the ribbon, I taped down the back, but then I'm going to sneak a little glue on the shovel part of my Tulin one on the back of that, and then just give it a light press just so it will stick without getting any glue blobs all over. And that is just such a cute scene, if I do say so myself. So I am loving how that turned out. I will add some foam to the back of the house just to give extra dimension, because like I said, this will double as a Christmas decoration and not just a card. So anytime I can add dimension, I try to as best as I can. There's that little tape that I needed to move. There we go. All set. I wish that you could see it in real life. It definitely looks different than it does on camera, but that's okay. I'll have some pretty pictures of it at the end, and you can see. I'm going to use that little stamp tool that my husband made for me just to hold that little bow down, since it was popped and everything. I thought about the sentiment, but then nope. I'll use those sentiments on a different project. no big deal. And then I'll snip that little tree branch off, and now it looks like a happy little winter scene. I know that black is a little bit dramatic and dark for a Christmas card, but to me, a black background with kind of all these colors and the green and the red really work, because green and red are complementary colors, so it does work well artistically, or you know. All right, I'm going to add some Nuvo drops to my snow areas, and I'll just add that right behind that little pine, no big deal. And then I just kind of freestyle it with the roof here. It just kind of needs to look a little bit sparkly with some dimension, so that's why I chose to use Nuvo drops. They dry clear. I think they take like 2 hours to dry, so once I finish this one, I tried not to bump it or anything, but I think this one is called Blizzard. It has kind of a greeny blue glitter in it, and it looks really cute. And it definitely covered up some of the seams that I had with that dark blue and navy and white paper. So it kind of helps me out a little bit there. So before my too much brain kicks in, I won't go crazy, but I did add some to the pine cones as well. So before I go crazy, I'll just add a little cap to that, and we'll move on to my next card. But before I show that one, I'm going to show this card that I pulled my game day embossing folder with on the background. It did a thank you card that is skating themed. So shop your stash. I'm just saying, I really like making Christmas cards, but I also like switching up Christmas cards with not Christmas cards. So there's a winter thank you card that is a little bit sporty with the game day folder called Sports Talk. Now, here's the small die. It's so pretty. It is 2 ice skates. I'm going to show you how I assemble one ice skate so you can kind of get a little tutorial, if you will, for that. So I'm going to put the white part on top, and then I'm going to add the black heel. And it's important to see a little bit of white underneath, and that is for the rest of the heel. Then I'll add the blade, which I die cut out in silver mirror cardstock. That is just so pretty. Again, I love adding anything that's metallic, or I don't know, anything that's supposed to be shiny. I like to use that mirror cardstock. Now the laces, I chose not to use the part that to me looked like the smushed X. That would be the top part of the skate. To me, I didn't think it really needed it, and I'm going to have flowers kind of pouring out of my skate, so I just chose to not add that in. Then I'll add the bow. There's the ties and then the actual bow piece. So I'll add the ties first, and then a little more glue, and then the bow, and then there is this tiny little almost circle but kind of a rectangle piece that goes in the middle of the bow just to kind of finish it off. And that little detail to me is so important, because that adds the detail that I think makes cards so fun. The texture, the detail, it's so fun. I love it. Anyway, the background is the Hexy snowflake background. I thought about using this scrap of some purple plaid paper. I ended up not using it. I didn't think it really needed it, but maybe I'll use that on something else. All right, let's talk floral arrangements. I'm sorry if you can hear the wind. It is totally storming out right now. But for floral arrangements like this, I just kind of build up my background like this and make kind of a cluster. So I'm going to start with the greens that are strictly green. And now I have kind of the spot where I know my skate ends, so I don't have to have those there anymore. Then I'll add the greens that I have, greens with color, and then I will tape those down, literally onto my card base, just like that. My skate will hide the tape, so I'm all good. Just sneak that one over just a little tiny bit, like like so. And then yeah, I ended up using liquid glue anyway, just so I could kind of move things around, especially these little pieces, because I'm going to add that big poinsettia or poinsettia to my skate, and I wanted to make sure that these cute little berry pieces did not get lost in the sauce, if you will. So I end up kind of moving them a little bit higher than I originally had them, like so. That one looks like it's flying out of nowhere, but with the poinsettia on there, it definitely ties it all together. A little bit of fussing never hurt anyone, right? Okay, I'll stick my skates on, and then the rest of the floral pieces will be added on top. So the tape and glue method kind of works well for me. I don't know, I had so much glue on the top of my hand, apparently I needed to use the back of my hand. Alright, here goes the poinsettia. I will sneak some of those little leaves on the back, just adding more texture, more green color. There isn't really a rhyme to my reason of color choices for specific plants besides the pine trees just having that dark green paper, and then I kind of chose to use some of the sagey colors just to coordinate well with my purple. I think green and purple are pretty together. I will just cut a little bit of foam for my poinsettia. I just wanted that popped up, little dimension. Ooh, that's cute. And then I'll add these 3 little flowers, and they don't have a stem, and that's a-okay with me. I think they don't really need one with all the greens that I have on the background, so I'll just pop them on. I use glitter cardstock for the poinsettia and for the centers of these 3 flowers, and I am loving the glitter cardstock. I found a whole bunch of it when I moved back into my new craft space, and I've been using it a lot. And I decided that I should just use it instead of hoard it like we all do with our craft supplies. So this is my PSA to encourage you to use your craft supplies and not hoard them as much, because I feel like we all need that message sometimes. All right, here's a look at all 3 of my cards. Let me know your favorite. Those 2 from the small die and then the large die, I think I like each one for different reasons, but the large die of the month is just such a cute scene. I think that one has to be my favorite. Plus, I think cardinals are a beautiful bird. I know that they are a state bird for many states in America, so if that is your state bird and you're American, cool. Maybe you could make a state card for a loved one. There's a look at the card. You can really see that glitter has dried, and that is some green snow. Anyway, well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in my next video. My next one will be Nicole Spore's collection with her needlework. So I am so excited. I've been die cutting like crazy with my Scout for that video. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.